Hello, my dear students. Now, in this presentation, I would like to explain about our next topic. So, that is the multiplexing and demultiplexing of address and data bus. In the last presentation, we have seen architecture of an 8085 microprocessor. Now, the next topic is the multiplexing and demultiplexing of address and data bus. So, multiplexing and demultiplexing of address and data bus. Okay, the 8085 microprocessor has a 16 address lines. So 8085 microprocessor has 16 address lines. Okay, so these 16 address lines are dividing into two parts. First one is lower order address bus and higher order address bus. The lower order address bus is A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8. So, these are the lower order address bus. Now, the higher order address bus is A8, A9, A10, A11, A12, A13, A14, A15. Okay, so these are the higher order address bus. So here these lower order address bus is combined with the 8 data lines. We already know that the 8085 microprocessor has a 16 address lines and 8 data lines. Okay, so 8 data lines. Now, these lower order address lines are combined with these 8 data lines. So, these 8 data lines are D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. Okay, so these address lines and data lines are combined and transmitting in a single line. So that is nothing but the multiplexing. Okay, so here the multiplexing is nothing but both address and data lines are combined and transmitting in a single line. Okay, that is nothing but a multiplexing. Here these two are multiplexed and it will form as AD0 and these two are multiplexed and form as AD1 and these two are multiplexed and form AD2. These two are multiplexed and form AD3. So these two are multiplexed and form AD4. These two are multiplexed and form AD5. These two are multiplexed and form AD6 and these two are multiplexed and form AD7. Okay, so these are the lower order address and data lines. So here these are the lower order address and data lines. So those are AD0 to AD7. So here these lower order address lines are the bidirectional address lines. So these are the bidirectional address lines. Okay, so the 8085 microprocessor of the lower order address lines require so one clock cycle on the data bus. So one clock cycle on the data bus. That means these lines are remain in the data bus only one clock cycle. So coming to the higher order data lines, so here these are the higher order address lines. Okay, so these from A to A15. Okay, so these lines are the unidirectional address lines. So here address and data lines. Okay, so in these are the unidirectional address lines. Okay, so it required, that means the lower order address lines can remains only one clock cycle on the data bus, but in this higher order data lines it stay, that means 3 clock cycles remains on the data bus. So we have to for only one clock cycle stay on the data bus. So we have to save this AD0 to AD7. We did not save these AD0 to AD7 lines. We will lose these lines. So that's why we have to save these AD0 to AD7 lines. So for to save AD0 to AD7 lines, we use a latch. Okay, so we use a latch. So by using this latch, we have to save this AD0 to AD7. Okay, so this is about the multiplexing of address and data lines. Here we are multiplexed, that means we are combining these two signals. And also in the multiplexing process, the 8085 microprocessor follows a time shared multiplexing. That means these are the time shared. So that means during the execution of an instruction, the early part is carry the address lines and the late part carry the data lines. Okay, so during the execution of an instruction, the early part carry the address lines, that is A0 to A7. Okay, so late part, so they carry data lines. Okay, so this is about the multiplexing of address and data bus. Now we are going to discuss about the demultiplexing of address and data bus. Okay, so a demultiplexing. So demultiplexing is nothing but we have to separate the both address and data lines. Okay, so by using for the separating of both address and data lines, we use one signal. So that signal is called as an ALE. That signal is called as ALE. So ALE is nothing but address latch enable. Address latch enable. So this address latch enable is a positive going pulse. So it is a positive going pulse. So ALE is a positive going pulse. By using this signal, we have to separate the address lines and data lines. Now coming to the diagram of demultiplexing. So here this is an 8085 microprocessor. So this is a microprocessor. So that is 8085 microprocessor. The 8085 microprocessor has address lines as well as data lines. So that means an 8085 microprocessor has an higher order address lines. So those higher order address lines are A8 to A15. So A8 to A15. So okay, so and also a lower order address lines. So the lower order address lines are, so here these are the lower order address lines. So these lower order address lines are, address and data lines are AD0 to AD7. Okay, so this AD0 to AD7 is separated by using a signal. So that signal is called as an ALE. So that signal is ALE. So ALE is nothing but an address latch enable. Okay, so for storing purpose we have to use one latch. So that is called as a latch. Okay, so here have to connect this ALE signal to this latch. Okay, so and after that by using this ALE signal we have to separate the address and data lines. So now here, okay, so the early part it will receive the address lines, that is A0 to A7, and the late part it will carry the data lines. So data lines, those are the D0 to D7. Okay, so this is the diagram of a demultiplexing of address and data lines. So this is the figure. Okay, so demultiplexing of address and data bus. Okay, so that is nothing but if ALE is equal to, if ALE is equal to 1. Okay, so when the ALE is equal to 1, here the latch is enable. Okay, so that means this microprocessor is carry only the address lines. So those are A0 to A7. So it will carry the address lines, that is A0 to A7, when the ALE is equal to 0. So that means if an ALE is equal to 0, so this that means this enable this, that means this latch is disabled. That means so here this latch will store the address. That means A0 to A7 is stored in this latch, and the late part, so it will send the D0 to D7. So that means when the ALE is equal to 0, it will carry the only data lines. So those data lines are D0 to D7. Okay, so in this way the demultiplexing process is done in the 8085 microprocessor. Okay, so the in this topic, that means multiplexing and demultiplexing of an address lines, some important points are, so an 8085 microprocessor has address lines and data lines. Now in this 8085 microprocessor, we are combining of both address and data lines and transmitting. So what is the reason for the multiplexing? So why? Because we have to reduce the size of a microprocessor IC. It is a very important point. And after multiplexing, we have to demultiplex the these address and data lines. For the demultiplexing process, we have to use one signal. So that signal is called as address latch enable. When the address latch enable is equal to this, it will carry the address lines. When the ALE is equal to 0, it will carry the data lines. Okay, so these are the important points about the multiplexing and demultiplexing of address and data bus. Okay, now we are going to discuss about another topic. So that is the another topic, that is control signal generation and status signals. Control signal generation and status signals. Okay, here the 8085 microprocessor has two control signals. So the two control signals are okay, so read bar and write bar. Okay, so these two signals are the active low signals. Active low signals. So here the active low signals is nothing but, here we mention a bar, so that's why these are the active low signals. So read is nothing but what? Here it will read the instructions from the memory to microprocessor. Okay, so here this is a microprocessor, okay, and this is a memory. So here this is a memory. So here the microprocessor read the instructions from this memory. Okay, so that is memory or any other input or output devices. So that means it will read the data from what are the external devices are connected to the microprocessor. So from that devices it will read the data. Okay, so microprocessor it will read the data. Okay, and W bar is nothing but write bar. So it is also an active low signal. So it will read the data from peripherals to the microprocessor. Here reading is nothing but peripherals to microprocessor. Okay, so here writing is nothing but, so here the peripherals to microprocessor. So that means here it will read the data. So here this is a microprocessor. Okay, so and this is some peripheral devices. Okay, so from this to this, here this is from memory to microprocessor, this is from microprocessor to a memory. So that means it will fetch the instructions to the microprocessor and it will store the instructions in the peripherals. So it will simply, that means here the read operation is nothing but it will read the instructions from memory to microprocessor. So write instruction is nothing but it will write the instructions from microprocessor to memory or any other peripheral devices. Okay, so these are the read and write signals. Okay, so another signal, that is a control signal. Okay, so another signal, that is control signal IO by M bar is there. So IO by M bar is nothing but if IO by M bar is equal to 0. Okay, IO by M bar is equal to 0. So here it will perform the memory operation. Memory operation. So that means here memory bar is there, M bar, that means 0 bar is equal to 1. So that's why it will perform the memory operation. So that is IO by M bar is equal to 1. So it will perform the IO operation. So IO, it will perform the IO operation. Now combining of these three signals, so that is read bar, write bar and IO by M bar. So combining of these three signals, we have to generate the 4 control signals. So by combining of these, so these 3 signals, that is read bar, write bar and IO by memory. So combining of these 3 signals, we have to form 4 control signals. 4 control signals. Okay, so these 4 control signals are, first one is memory read. So here ME is nothing but memory read. And next, second one is memory write. Okay, after third one is IO read. Fourth one is IO write. Okay, so by combining of these 3 signals, that means here these 2 are the control signals and IO by M bar is a status signals. For combining of these 3 signals, we have to form 4 control signals. So those control signals are memory by memory read bar and memory write, IO read and IO right. So these four signals are also an active low signals. So these are active low signals. Okay, so these are the active low signals. And now I will draw the diagram. So how to generate these four control signals. How to generate the four control signals. For generating of these four control signals, I use a NAND gate. So why? Because these all are the active low signals. Okay, so for generating of four control signals, used by a NAND gate. Okay, so NAND gate. So why? Because those four signals are the active low signals. Okay, so here this is the diagram. So how to generate these control signals. So here this is an 8085 microprocessor. The 8085 microprocessor has a control signal, that is IO by M bar, and that means it is a status signal, and two control signals, those are the read bar and write bar. Okay, now we have to generate the four control signals, so that's why I use four NAND gates. Okay, so those NAND gates are, so here this is a NAND gate. So here I am using a bubble. So why? Because these all are the active low signals. So another one is also a NAND gate. Okay, so and after that and another fourth gate is also a NAND gate. I am using a bubble here. Okay, so the first signal is generating, that is memory by read operation. So the memory operation is performed by using IO by memory bar. Okay, so here so memory is nothing but we have to connect the line here to this NAND gate, and after that it is a read bar. So this is a read signal. So connect the signal to here. Okay, so okay, so and likewise, so therefore this is a memory read bar. So that means here the memory signal is come here. So here is bubble is there, M will be come here. Okay, so and for this line read bar is come. So this is also a bubble is there, therefore read will be come here, and this is an AND gate. So therefore finally the output is memory read bar. Okay, so likewise and after that memory write signal. So here and also for this memory, so the memory line is, this is the memory line. So here I will use this line as a memory. So it will draw to here, and the next one is write signal. So where is the write signal? Here this is the write signal. So now I will draw this as like this. Okay, and after that the third is the IO read. So IO read. So this is also an inactive low signal. So where is the IO signal? So here this is an IO signal. Therefore we will use this is an IO. So here this is an IO signal. So from this again I will draw. So here this is an IO. This is an IO. So why? Because so I using here one NOT gate. So why? Because so this is active high signal. IO is nothing but so I is coming to this. This is from IO bar, and after that it will come an IO. This is a read signal. So read signal is this is the read signal. So now I will draw this signal to this line. Okay, so after that this is a read bar, and this is IO dot read. So this is NAND gate. So because so therefore the finally IO read bar. Okay, so and after that the last one is the IO. The last one is the IO write bar. IO write bar. Okay, so the IO signal is, so here this is an IO signal. Okay, so this IO signal is, again we will use a NOT gate. Okay, so and after that the read operation. So read signal is, this is the read signal. This is the write signal. Okay, so likewise you have to draw the diagram. How to draw the diagram. So now by using this NAND gate we have to generate the 4 control signals. So those 4 control signals are memory read, memory write, IO read and IO write. Okay, now we are going to status signals. We are going to status signals. The N8085 microprocessor has 3 status signals. So those are S1, S0 and IO by a memory bar. We already discussed about this IO by memory. Oh, okay, now we will discuss about only these 2 signals. These 2 are the status signals. Okay, so we have, by using the status signals we have to identify the operation. So that means what type of an operation is performed by the microprocessor. That means it is a read operation or write operation. So whatever it may be the operation, by using these 2 control signals you have to identify. Okay, so for identify the operation. Okay, so either read operation or a write operation. Okay, so here you have 2 inputs, that is S1 and S0 and the status of a signal. Status of a signal. If we consider 2 inputs, how many combinations? There are the 4 combinations. Those 4 combinations are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Okay, so here 0, 0 operation is nothing but we are not use this operation. So that is nothing but this is an halt. Okay, next one is 0, 1 operation. That means a microprocessor can perform the write operation. So this is a write operation it will be performed. So and 1 0, 1 0 is nothing but a read operation. So here it will perform the a read operation. Okay, and after that 1 1. So 1 1 is nothing but the microprocessor fetch the instructions. So it will fetch operation. Okay, so depending upon these status lines, we have to identify so what's the operation the microprocessor is performed. So that means it will perform the read operation or it will perform the write operation. So whatever it may be, it will perform the fetch operation. So but here the 0 0 condition is not used, it is a halt. Okay, so now I will draw one table how the operation is going. Okay, so the table is okay, here a machine cycle, okay, machine cycle, and after that IO by M bar, S1 and S0 and control signals. Control signals. For here we already discussed about this IO by M bar. So here if IO by M bar is equal to 0, that means here S0 and S1 are the two inputs, that means we have to form the 4 combinations, but you are not use the 0 0, so we use only either 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. So here the first is a 1 and 1. So what will be happening? So S0 is equal to 1 and S1 is equal to 1. What is the operation of a microprocessor? It will fetch the opcode fetch. So here the operation is, so this is a table. Okay, so opcode fetch operation. So here this is 0. 0 is nothing but memory bar, that means 1. It is a memory operation. So memory operation is nothing but it is a read operation. That means RD bar is equal to 0. So 0 is nothing but bar, that means 1. Okay, so and after that 0 1. So 0 1 is nothing but it will perform the write operation. So here 1 is nothing but a memory. So that's why it will perform the memory write operation. Memory write operation. So that means WR bar is equal to 0 and after that 1 0. So 1 0 is nothing but a read operation. So here this is also a 0. That means it will perform the memory read operation. Memory read. So therefore this is a read operation. That's why RD bar is equal to 0. Okay. So and after that we will consider a ones. So that means 0 is nothing but it will perform the memory operation. So 1 is nothing but it will perform the IO operation. So here it is an IO operation. So likewise, so for example here 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1 we will consider. So here the 0 1 is nothing but it will perform the read operation. So that means here WR bar is equal to 0. Here 1 is nothing but IO. So that means it will perform the IO write operation. Okay, so IO write operation, and after that it is 1 0. So 1 0 is nothing but it is a read operation. So that is RD bar is equal to 0. So here 1. So 1 is nothing but it is an IO operation. So therefore it is an IO read operation. IO read operation. And next after that here I is equal to 1. IO by m bar is equal to 1. That means it is an IO operation. So here this is a 1 1. Actually 1 1 is a fetch operation, but it is an interrupt INTA bar is equal to 0. That means in this case it will perform the interrupt acknowledgement. So here it is an interrupt acknowledgement. Okay, so and after that some of the signals are also there. Those all are the halt, next reset. Okay, so halt and reset. So that means it will perform the Z and 0 0. That is nothing but it is an halt. So here halt is Z. Z is nothing but an impedance, and after that it is an hold. Okay, so here the hold is also an impedance. This is 0 0. That means the control signal here there is no operation. So here the read and the write and the read is also an impedance. And next after that a reset. Okay, so reset is also an impedance mode. So that means it is don't care. That means either 0 or 1. That means it is whatever it may be the signal. So that means it is a Z. So therefore, so INTA bar is equal to 1. Okay, so thank you.